Well, just like that, good morning. It's a Tuesday morning. It's a rainy start, Gene. It's Tuesday, June 17th. I don't know
Yeah,
about you, but when the weather's like this, I'm just like, oh, wake me up. Even when the day starts at 3 in the morning, but it's kind of lousy out there. But
yeah.
regardless, here we are. Good morning. How was your show this morning?
Show was great. Took a lot of text. People text us now on the radio.
I know.
Some of them don't have the time to call in. Used to be talk radio. Now it's text/call in radio. So a lot of talk about what we talked. Just a whole host of topics. We started talking about reality shows and
Oh, I got a phone call
housewives of
right
Rhode
when you
Island.
started that today. Yes. What was the
Yeah.
latest with Andy
Well,
Cohen?
the latest is Andy Cohen went on the Today Show and said that the Rhode Island housewives are going to have a real Italian feel.
They're not all
Uh,
Italian, right?
Yeah, I don't. We haven't seen the list. I don't know who they are, and it's going to be reminiscent of the old vintage Real Housewives of New Jersey. So
Yeah.
this is
So
twice
read between the
now.
lines, right?
Yeah. So this is twice now. He told us what to expect. Maybe table flipping, screaming and yelling, bad behavior,
Right.
and a lot of Italian stereotypes. So that was a talker today or a texter today, but there's still a lot of excitement about that show. And we got into a debate of whether or not it's going to be good for Rhode Island or not. Some people think it'll be good for Rhode Island, others are not so sure. So that was the big talker on the radio today, Allison.
I do not watch reality television, and I've never watched The Real Housewives, so I am not helpful in this conversation with that. But I do hope Rhode Island looks good, but I'm skeptical. Is that fair? A little skeptical.
Yeah, it's going to
I love Andy Cohen, though.
it's going to put Rhode Island on the map. Sometimes you go to Europe and there's a beautiful little city that hasn't been discovered, and it's authentic and it's real. And then when it's discovered, it's ruined. So I'm not sure we want to be on the map, but we're going to
I
be on the
know.
map at some point because the impresario of Bravo, Andy Cohen, has decided that he's going to do a Real Housewives of Rhode Island, and he's certainly telegraphing what it's going to be like. Vintage New Jersey was the term he used
Okay.
on
How
the
long
Today
do
Show
these shows
anniversary.
last? 6 months? How long are they on the air
Well,
for?
some of them can
Reality.
go on
Is
for
it a year?
season after season after
Yeah.
season. Some of them flop and fizzle out, but I don't
I didn't
know.
know if there was a formula with Housewives.
Oh, there's a formula.
So,
All right. Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah.
There's a
Gotcha.
formula. By the way, you and I are probably in agreement on this. We're of Italian descent. I think we could be critical of Italian stereotypes and whether that's fair to do to that particular ethnicity. But I'm not protesting or telling Andy not to
Right.
make it or demanding a boycott. Nothing like that. We're First Amendment people, and
We are. We are journalists.
go ahead and make and do what you want. It's America,
It's
right?
a free country.
Yeah.
That's right. So we'll wait and see, I
Yep.
guess. All right. So let's talk news, though, like actual news. Karen Reed, you've been on this nonstop. It is
Hmm.
in the hands of the jury right now. This is what, the second full day of deliberations. They got the case Friday, but Friday was a half day.
Yep.
The defense filed a motion. They wanted that verdict slip changed. The judge said no. Karen
Yeah.
Reed, who talks a lot, came out of court and said, all right, the court didn't agree with us, but we're going to move forward. Even though the judge denied the motion. What do you think? I mean, I keep hearing from folks, if they come back quickly, and oh, by the way, there's no court on Thursday because it's Juneteenth, so
Right.
it's a shorter week. If they come back quickly, that's going to work in her favor, is what I keep hearing.
That's the conventional wisdom. If they come
Right?
back, it usually works in the defense's favor. I've got the verdict. Did you see the verdict sheet? We made a copy of it.
I did
in the
see it this
newsroom
morning, yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, her side made a bid to amend this. They felt it was too confusing for the jury, that it ought to be, explicitly simple and easy so that there's no miscommunication. I'm reading it. First, murder in the second degree. That's the toughest charge. Not guilty or guilty. You check, and then there's lesser charges, and it goes all the way down to manslaughter and manslaughter under the influence, all the way down to leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death would be the least of the charges, I believe. So we'll see. Look, there's a lot of reasonable doubt raised, no matter whose side you're on. There certainly is reasonable doubt raised in this case, and perhaps some points on appeal if it doesn't go her way. But we're all on verdict watch. We're waiting for this thing to get over, and as soon as it happens, it'll be live on WJAR and live on the radio and live all over the place. And I'll be up
Pretty much
there.
all over the world at this point, huh?
Yeah.
It is a wild case. This is the retrial. Do you think there's any chance that it could get thrown out again?
You mean
Another
a
retrial?
retrial?
Mario and I were talking about this morning. You never know. What if they come back
You
split?
never know.
Never
When
know.
she comes out of court, and it's bizarre.
The talking, the constant talking, it's so unprecedented.
Yeah, I mean, I heard yesterday we were watching her come out of court, and there was an audible gasp from her supporters, almost if they spotted Madonna. Well, oh, there she is. And she comes out all smiles, and she talks at length about how she's feeling that day, if she feels like talking. And we've got a clip, I think, of her father talking today outside court. Go ahead and play that. Let's see what he has to say. He's been there most of the trial.
Medical testimony from Dr. Scotty Bello, prosecution's own and the state's medical examiner, could not say John O'Keefe was hit by a car, not consistent with it. And the manner of death, undetermined. And then you go to Dr. Elizabeth Laposada, former chief medical examiner for the state of Rhode Island, now professor at Brown University. What do you see there? The same thing. The body injuries are not consistent with a vehicle strike. You know, it's so much. It should raise everybody's eyebrows that we're here doing this.
Well, he's right about that.
Right,
The
right.
state medical examiner and the hired medical examiner for the defense both said that conclusively we cannot see anything to conclusively say that he was hit by a car. State insists he was, and she insists no, he wasn't. It's all part of a larger cover-up. So the father now is a surrogate, trying to play to
Right.
the audience outside the court
Right.
house.
Let's go to a legal analyst too. This is Michael Coyne.
Verdicts generally, but especially high-profile verdicts. You do have some that come in relatively short amount of time that are guilty and not guilty. The only thing you really can be certain about here is the longer the jury is out, the more likely you're going to have, yet again, potentially a hung jury.
All right, so
Wow.
here's some context for that, Gene. OJ, verdict, 4 hours. Casey
Yes.
Anthony, 10 and a half. Robert Blake, 35 hours. In the first trial here, the jury deliberated 5 days, and then that brought us to this. They couldn't reach a decision. It's interesting, too, to see what's going to happen to that police department when all is said and done. Do you think another agency is going to come in, investigate them? I mean, that's
Well,
a whole nother story
Certainly a lot of questions
within the
raised.
story.
Yeah, the Canton Police Department, the state police, Allison,
Wild.
which in Massachusetts has unfortunately a distinguished record of problems, including the dismantling of the whole troop. Remember, not that long ago, they got rid of a whole troop because there was so much shenanigans going on with phonied up overtime and other problems. So, yeah, it bears
Husband
fruit.
covered that story. Yes.
Certainly bears fruit, I would say, certainly for a Republican U.S. attorney who's in place now to start digging a little deeper.
Yeah, this is far from over, even after this, for sure.
By the way, Allison, Sunday I took a ride up there to see the house.
Oh,
to
you
see
did
the
just have a
scene.
house?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I
34
haven't done that,
Fairview.
but I know that square in Dedham pretty well.
Yeah, I went to see the
Yeah,
two
what'd you
bars.
think? What impression did it make on you?
Well, you know, I don't spend much time in Canton. May have been there once or twice. It's a suburb of Boston. It's right up by the split, where 95 splits with 93. It's to the right of that. It looks like a nice suburban town. They had a nice little avenue, little restaurants and shops. And I saw the waterfalls, and it was the other bar, McCarthy's. I don't know if I'm the place that they were drinking first, and then they went to the waterfalls, and then they went back to the house. The house is only 5 minutes from the downtown drag, and the house looks exactly like it looks in the documentaries and all the news footage. It hasn't been changed. There are new owners. I'm not sure they appreciate people stopping by and driving slowly past it, but
It's been a long time for them.
it is what it is. So I got a sense of that, and then the Dedham, where the trial is going on.
It's a nice little square, isn't it?
Yeah, Dedham's a half
I've
an hour
taken yoga
on the
at
other
a
side.
studio up there. Yes.
If you're going up, it's to the left of the split,
right.
about a half hour away. So I got the feel, and I'll be going up there for the verdict. By the way, we're on verdict.
Oh, you are?
watch and
Okay.
reading. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in Boston, as you know, at Fox, and was in Dedham, so we're familiar with that courthouse for sure. It's a nice little square, and it's not used to getting this much attention.
No, nice little thing.
I know. So let's get some questions and comments going in the chat too, if anybody wants to chime in, as we say here at Channel 10. In the meantime, let's get over to AJ. I don't know if he's standing outside or inside. Oh, okay. I was going to feel very badly, AJ, if you were outside in the rain this whole time. But yeah, a lot of the folks up in Dedham are forced to stand outside of the courthouse in the rain. They're waiting to see what's going to come. So is the rain going to let up?
Yeah, so we're not seeing too much in the way of heavy rain right now through the Dedham area, or even our region down here in Providence, down through the south coast. Really just some light shower activity. Now, there is more off to the west. That's kind of the issue we got going on right now, is these rain chances will be sticking with us through the middle of the day into the early afternoon. The western extent of this rain is out towards the Hudson River Valley, so we still got a few more hours before it really gets out of our region. What you don't see is more of the yellows, oranges, or reds, so we're not expecting any heavy downpours, but you may want to keep that umbrella handy. It's really sporadic rain chances going all through tonight into tomorrow morning as well. We can see the second half of Wednesday by 10 a.m. Rain chances are already starting to go down, and by 1 p.m. they're essentially flatlining, and don't expect much in terms of precipitation for late Wednesday into early Thursday. Now, temperatures and dew points, though, will be on the rise as we continue into Thursday. As we can see, our Wednesday high temperature tomorrow up to 76. That's about 88 by Thursday afternoon with a dew point of 71. So it's going to be feeling like the lower 90s across the region. So really haven't seen a whole lot of that this year. Friday, Saturday, still into the 80s, and not a bad looking weekend forecast. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But we got clearing skies heading for Thursday afternoon with the heat and humidity. It could spark a few thunderstorms. The good news is this main cold front is going to be coming after dinner time. So as these storms push further eastward, many of them dying on out, can't rule out a stray downpour, maybe a stronger storm out towards the Mass Pike. But aside from that, looking pretty good. And then heading for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 84, 86 degrees. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Monday, even warmer than that. We could be talking about record territory here for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Our record on Monday is 92. We're going 89 for a high temperature right now. 92 to 98 for Tuesday. That looks to be the warmest day. Record only 94, so definitely a shot at that one. And then looking to be below record territory for Wednesday. But next week, we're talking about potential for some very high heat values. Likely going to be seeing some heat alerts going into place. So, of course, stick with Storm Team 10. We'll keep you updated on that. But for the meantime, a little bit of rain, eventually going to be warming on up. So enjoy what we'll see for Thursday. Just kind of a sneak preview what we got going on for the weekend into early next week. Gene, Allison, ready for a little bit of
All
summer
right,
heat?
okay. We don't have a choice. Yes.
Yes, very much so.
It's coming at some
Ready to
point.
go.
Time.
All right, AJ, thank you. Another Italian gene.
Yep, there you go.
Yep, there we go. Check. All right, let's talk about Trump. Not Italian. Trump Mobile.
Yeah.
Anything to make a buck?
Trump, he's the Trump family. By the way, they say they'll make money off this, but the president will be shielded from the money because that he's
But they're
precluded.
spinning off of the 47, of
Right.
course, right?
47, 45. So those are his
47, 45.
those are his terms, 47, 45, and that's the pricing plan. And they also promised to make a cell phone in America for $499, to which yesterday Business Observer said that's impossible to do. It would take years to get a cell phone plant up and running in America with any sort of efficiency. So there's a lot of skepticism about this. Now, the plan, they could piggyback off other carriers. Other carriers do that. They could use the one system or another. So they could offer
You're going to
you
make the phones in America?
But as far as making a phone in America, that's a ways off, at least according to the Business Observers. Unless they get a foreign phone maker to come here and assemble the phone and do something like that. But anyway, that's the latest from the Trump organization. It's the kids. They say it's the kids, not him, and he'll be cut off and sealed off from the profits that come of this, just like the Bitcoin and a few other ventures they have. That's the word out of the family. The kids were talking it up, not necessarily the president himself, who was preoccupied with other things. He was up in Canada for the G7 summit. He left early to come back and get to the Situation Room and to make a decision, I guess, on whether or not we're going to join in Israel's war with Iran and drop the bunker-busting bomb to take out what's left of the nuclear facilities deep underground. That's the decision, and maybe we're going to get news on that today. And if we do that, if we join in and if we drop the bunker-buster bomb, that ups the ante for the world.
Sure does.
See what happens. So there's
Sure
two
does.
sides.
And he says he doesn't want another world war, so we will see.
No, and he also says he's tired of negotiating. He's weary of negotiating with the Ayatollahs, who he said should have made a deal a while ago, and now it might be too late. So we could get news on this later today that's of importance to all of us.
Of course.
Yeah.
No more Elon in the news today.
Well, Elon faded, didn't he?
He sure did.
He's firing his rockets.
Okay. Brown University. Did you see this? You take a static picture, you use some, I guess it's AI, and the picture will then move. So it's called force prompting. Sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And you use a mouse or you slide your finger across the picture in order to indicate that it should roll or move in one direction or the other. And the
Yeah.
idea is eventually this could help people. You know how we keep hearing about AI, is it good or is it bad?
Yeah.
Or maybe if it is designed in a way to help you, not hurt you, it could be good. So the idea here is long-term visions for the project include teaching robots
Yeah.
how to help people. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of interesting.
Wow. Somebody, I'll tell you, the listeners and viewers are very clever out there, and they're doing all kinds of stuff with AI. And they put me in scenes I've never been in.
Right.
And
It's wild,
a
isn't
picture
it?
just came in today of this.
Oh, let me see.
I don't know if you could see that. I don't know what we were talking about on the radio,
That's pretty good.
but somebody
That's
thought
pretty
I was miserable, and so they sent that in, and they send in all kinds of stuff,
It's
and
wild. It
and
really
it's
is.
absolutely amazing what
I'm not that
we
sophisticated
get.
at AI yet. I need to take some time and really learn
We
it.
should both go to a class and
I know,
get
right?
up to speed on that.
Because you're really not supposed to use Chat GPT and everything as if it's Google. You're supposed to really manipulate it, use it. And I think most people are just doing
Well,
catchphrases. It is a little creepy the way it talks to you.
the
It's
kids
very
already,
conversational.
the kids use it for their homework,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's a
So,
whole
but
thing.
the teachers supposedly are skilled at detecting that. I understand.
We will see.
So,
All right, one more thing before we
Yes.
depart. Did you see this from Westerly? I'll just show it and then we'll chat
Go ahead.
after.
Barrett Whitehall.
I did that in
Each
78
their
hours.
own. I did it in, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
I'm
pretty
glad
clever.
it worked out. Glad
Yeah,
it worked out.
good.
Yeah, wow.
I have my artwork to show you. I know you
Yes.
enjoy this.
Okay, so another Anthony Tomaselli,
But
who
we're
owns the
continuing
Tees restaurants.
continuing
His
with my
art is at the art club.
my Tomaselli series. So this I
Yes.
bought these a few years back. This is before the highway,
Oh, before
This is
the
what
bridge.
it used to look like.
Okay, before the pedestrian bridge.
before we took that down.
Mm-hmm.
This was all demolished, and then the ramps were moved further north. But this is the city in the early 2000s. So
Nice.
it's kind of a grayish
Watercolor.
treatment on that. That's oil.
Oh, it's oil. Okay,
It's
oil
oil.
on canvas. Nice.
And then he paints this one a lot. This is a favorite of his. He paints the old Baptist church
yeah, that's a
in
beautiful
downtown
shot.
Providence. And this is actually the art club is here where his studio is up in
Mhm.
here. And that's the old Baptist church. And Alexandra, my oldest, is going to take this someday when I'm not looking. She wants this.
It is a nice one. She's in the city,
Yeah.
so she needs a little Rhode Island reminder. I bought my father, or did he? No, it was at an auction, a Tomaselli piece of a lighthouse. Small,
Yeah.
small, but nice. A very Rhode Island, right?
Yeah.
I'm more of a contemporary art person, but I do love his work at the same
Oh,
time.
you have quite a collection. No, I've been to your house. You have
Well,
quite a
thank you.
collection of art. Yes,
I know. You know, my
Your
husband's
taste-
a
your
pretty
taste-
good painter.
your tastes run to the modern, a little abstract.
We're a little different that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's what makes the world go around. My
Yeah.
husband's actually a very good painter, and his mother and his grandfather, mostly acrylics, but very, very good.
I didn't
I've
know
taken a
Dave-
few RISD classes. I get very impatient, which is my problem. So I like to collect more
Yeah.
than paint these
So
days.
Dave paints,
He's very creative.
and he's
yes.
a handy. He does everything around the house, and he cooks.
Yes, you saw our gardening. Yes.
But he's an excellent
We're now-
son-in-law. So you're showing me up here.
Well, I sent you pictures also from this weekend. We were in Vermont, and he now
Yeah.
cooks over open fire on a cauldron. So
You are Martha Stewart.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying. So we'll have you up there for sure.
Yeah.
That is the next thing on the calendar. It's a little hot up there now, so maybe in the fall. But yeah, he does a good spread.
Nice.
Yes.
Good.
All right, that does it for us.
Okay.
What are you off to for the rest of the day?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever the day brings. I'm just sitting here after the radio. I just peruse some books I bought and look at my artwork.
I'm off to
and-
get a haircut and
Yeah,
then
waste some
Greenwich
time.
watch.
Yeah, you
What's
know
that?
the Italians have a saying. What is it? La dolce de far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing.
Sweetness of doing nothing.
Which
Or is
is-
it the art? No, it's the sweetness of doing nothing.
Yeah, the sweetness of doing nothing, which I
have
think
a
we
hard
could
time
all
with
use
that.
a segment during the day of the sweetness of doing nothing. So
That'd be amazing, huh?
Yeah.
We're not good at it, Gene.
Well, I'll steal a few minutes here and there, but I'll be up to
All right, well,
something
that's
a little
pretty
later.
good.
So,
Of course you will. All right, well, I'm going to check in with you later,
okay.
probably offline. We appreciate everybody being with us today. And that does it for Coffee Break.
All right.
Ciao for now, right? Is that you're
That's
saying?
right.
Ciao for now.